Because you guys have a new show.
We
It's
need
called
to talk.
We need to talk.
Yeah, CBS Sports is going to make history tonight with the launch of We Need to Talk on the CBS Sports Network, and it is the first ever all-female national sports show. Two of the program's panelists are with us. You just saw them. NFL analyst and former Oakland Raiders CEO Amy Trask, also longtime sports journalist Andrea Kremer. Welcome to both of you.
Well, thank you for having us.
It's great to have you.
It's really
So
terrific
excited
to be with
for your
you.
show.
What was the idea for this show?
A long time in coming. Finally, that was my reaction when I heard about it. It will be a rotating cast of 12 very impressive women, led by my longtime friend Amy Trask. Over a quarter century as the leading female executive in the National Football League. And as you said, it's your friend list on
There are 12 participants in the panel, and each week there will be 4 different women. We may overlap from time to time, but it's as if you have a distribution list of 12 on your phone, and each week a different group come, and a varied group. There are gold medalists, Olympic winners, WNBA champions, accomplished
Why do you need an
journalists.
all-female show?
Well, it's historic. There's never been, I mean, you may have a woman that appears on another sports show, but never have you had all these women from these very different backgrounds bringing their opinions, their knowledge to a show like this.
But
And
you know what, guys? I like the title, We Need to Talk, because most times
Double
when a wife
entendre,
says
huh?
that to her husband, he wants to run through a plate glass window
That's
butt
right.
naked. But you were saying that We Need to Talk, even though it's produced by women, run by women, it's not strictly a women's sports
no,
show.
it is not. It's a
It is-
sports show, and it just happens that there are 12 women who are talking sports. But you know what? We've always talked sports. This is the funny thing. This is nothing new for us. Something would happen in the NFL or in the NBA, and I get an email or text from me, we got to talk about this. Well, now you all have to listen.
Well, you raise an interesting point, which is why does there need to be an all-women's show? And of course, as you indicated, this is not a show about women's sports. It's a show about sports and the intersection of sports and society with all women participating. But ultimately, the show needs to be judged on its quality, not on its gender.
So when the NFL scandal broke, were you thinking, gosh, I wish we were on the air now? There's always something happening in sports.
There always will be something happening
Right.
in sports. Sports is a reflection of society in many regards. It's a microcosm. Sports also offers us in society moments for progressive, pivotal societal change, transformative change in many, many milieus. And so it's sports and it's society, and I think we're always going to have issues to talk about.
But when that Monday hit, when the Ray Ray's second
Yeah.
video came out, she and I.
So what did you say to each other?
If only our show was to debut tomorrow.
I think she was a little more excited about the show debuting at that time. I was sort of soaking in the whole matter and thinking, this is a pivotal moment, but there will always be pivotal moments.
How do you
Listen,
assess how the
but-
NFL has responded?
I'm sorry,
How do you assess how the NFL has responded?
disappointing initially.
Yeah, but today?
On the road to the right direction, I hope. And I hope very cognizant that there's now an opportunity for the NFL to lead and to really foster transformative social change.
Have they begun to exercise that leadership?
I think we're watching to see that ultimately happens, but it appears that the ship has turned and is headed in the right direction, at least from my perspective.
It's been reactive. It needs to be much more proactive. You can't sit back and wait till something happens in the legal system. You have to be very proactive on all these issues. As Amy said, sports is a microcosm of society. So it is not an NFL problem. It is a national domestic violence problem. And that's one of the things, because there's been so much happening with who did what, who knew what, it obscures the big issue. Domestic violence is a huge problem in our society.
And what to do about that.
Right.
The big story in the news we've been talking about is Michigan coach Brady Hoke.
Oh, boy.
So will you all be giving your opinion? For instance, would you say he should lose his job, he should not lose his job, or will you just be talking about the story?
I think we'll be both sharing facts, sharing information, sharing from our varied experiences in and around the sports world, as well as giving our opinions.
I mean, the whole concussion, the head issue is something that I've been working on for years and years and years. Amy's also instrumental in that when she was at the league. And look, the trickle-down effect from the NFL to the NCAA must happen. There are specific protocols in place in the National Football League since 2009 about how to manage concussions on game day, and that has to be in the NCAA. You
And it's
cannot
not trickle down.
It's not yet trickled down, and you cannot let the player or the coach decide if a player is concussed. You need an independent neurologist on the sideline. Get him out of it.
Did you guys like sports as girls, little girls? Because I was like, ugh, boring. Were you athletes? Did you like it?
I have loved football
Okay.
since I can remember, and I did
I
not
love it
grow up in
now.
a family of avid football watchers, but I have loved that since a child.
Love sports my whole life, so to be able to talk about it tonight on CBS
Yeah.
in an historic forum is pretty special.
Amy
Bravo.
Trask and Andrea Kremer, thank you. And We Need to Talk premieres tonight on the CBS Sports Network.